If you're a godly single, wondering why you're still single, stick around. Today we're diving into some popular worldly dating advice that might actually be keeping godly singles like you, well, single. Let's unpack this with some biblical truths and practical wisdom. Myth number one, prioritize personal perfection. First up, the world says you need to be perfect before you date. While self growth is important, this mindset can make us over focus on ourselves. Newsflash, marriage isn't about two perfect people coming together. It's about two imperfect people leaning on God and growing together. If you're waiting to be perfect before stepping into dating, you're going to wait forever. God's word reminds us that his grace is sufficient for our weaknesses. As it says in 2 Corinthians 12:9, but he said to me, my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. So yes, work on yourself, but don't wait until you've got it all figured out. Let God meet you where you are and trust that he's working on your future spouse too. Myth number two, the world says, play hard to get. Now, don't get me wrong, guarding your heart is important, but playing games, that's not godly. Authentic relationships are built on honesty and love, not manipulation. God's word describes love as something genuine and kind, not manipulative or self-serving. 1 Corinthians 13:4 and 5 says, love is patient, love is kind, it does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud, it does not dishonor others, it is not self-seeking, it is not easily angered, it keeps no record of wrongs. Instead of playing games, let's show up as our real God-loving selves. True love values vulnerability and authenticity, not mind games. Trust me, the right person will appreciate your sincerity and strength. Myth number three, follow the checklist. Ah, the infamous checklist. You know the one. Tall, smart, rich, perfect smile, plays the guitar at mass. Sounds familiar? While standards are great, here's the thing. If your checklist focuses more on worldly attributes than godly character, you might be closing the door on something amazing. The Bible reminds us to value godly traits over superficial qualities. Men, there's a reason why you're seeking that Proverbs 31 woman. Proverbs 31:30 says, charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. And same goes for men. Instead of focusing on worldly traits, prioritize godly character, faith, integrity, kindness, and a heart aligned with God. Remember, you're not marrying a checklist. You're marrying someone who will journey with you in faith. Myth number four, date to impress, not connect. Finally, the world tells us to date to impress. Fancy dates, perfect appearances, and rehearsed lines. But dating intentionally isn't about impressing. It's about building a Christ-centered connection. Instead of asking yourself, do they like me? Ask yourself, do I feel God's peace and love in this relationship? Are we bringing out the best in each other for God's glory? The Bible reminds us to encourage one another and build each other up in faith. 1 Thessalonians 5:11 says, therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing. A godly relationship isn't about who can impress the most. It's about two people walking together in faith, encouraging each other, and reflecting God's love. So, my friends, let's stop buying into the world's advice and start trusting in God's plan. You're not single because you're not good enough. You're single because God's timing is always perfect. As Ecclesiastes 3:11 says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. God has an amazing love story for you, and it's worth the wait. If you enjoyed this video, you may also like this one. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to hear it. God bless.